What's up agents, Patrick Wolf here. Today's video is going to be my best raid build. This is from personal experience, so keep in mind that this is my opinion. This is from lots of testing, tweaking my build, trying everything out, and this, for my playstyle, is the best build that I could run for the raid. I rip through NPCs, I can survive, I can tank a lot of damage. Yes, DTE is not the most important thing in the game. Please do not spec into 150% DTE, otherwise you are going to get ripped to pieces and you'll be a liability to the team. So do not go for max DTE, guys. That is not the way to run a raid build. I've tried that, I've tested it out. If you guys want to be a sniper, then go for it. If you want to run aces and eights, do that. That's all fine. But if you want to have the best all-round raid build, this is the one for you. And this is through my opinion, but I have given this build to other people and they have really been happy with it. So before we get into the build, Untitled Update 5 is releasing on the 23rd of July. That will be everything, the skill updates, the actual patch which gives us strong skills and everything that comes with it. For season pass holders, you'll get access to the new missions that are coming, some of the side missions or whatever that is. And then on the 30th is when everyone else will get those side missions. So on the 23rd, you'll get everything else except those new missions, which will be coming to the season pass holders. Then you have to wait to the 30th. So it's not too long of a wait. The P416 assault rifle is not getting a nerf, so don't worry about that, guys. That was a rumor that was going around. And anyways, let's get into this build. So what is a PvE build that is really good and is not lacking in every aspect? This is going to be the one. This is going to be the build that you guys want to be running for the raid. It's going to take a lot of tweaking, and a lot of people will disagree with it, but this is from many trial and error missions and doing the raid many times and completing the raid many times with this build without even breaking a sweat. For instance, Lucy, you can tank grenades from her and 3 shots with a sniper with this build, and you can also hit 120k to NPCs. Yes, 120k. DTE is not the way to go in the raid. It's you want to do as much damage as you can. That's obvious, but you guys are going to have to listen to me throughout this video to explain to you the phases of the raid. So we could actually do that before we get into this. So the first thing you need to do is you want to be using gunner. Now the reason being is that LMG is what we're going to be using. I feel like LMG is the best sustained damage weapon. Assault rifles, you spend too much time reloading. That's just the fact. If you can kill an NPC with 1 mag, then go for that. But I don't think you can. If you can and your aiming is perfect, then you go for that. But LMGs I feel is the best. Now there's a reason for that. So in the first part of the raid, Boomer, you guys need to use your damage build. So whatever highest damage you can. You could tweak this build, give it a bit more damage. You can use this build, but just tweak it, give you as much damage as possible because you don't need to tank too much. The second part, when you do the gas section with the plane. Now, the weasel section, that is where you need to have protection and the hazard protection, to be precise. So hazard protection is very important. You need lots of health, at least 80k health. So there are certain ways that you have to adjust your build, but this build goes through the raid in every aspect. You'll be able to do damage to Boomer, go through Weasel without dying. And then when you get to the last D2 Razorback part, that is, well, because Buddy and Lucy, you don't really need to do anything. You just you gotta have communication between your team. That's the main thing. So you don't have to worry about that part. The Buddy and Lucy is very easy. So the D2 Razorback. Now, there's lots of drones. LMGs are really good. You can take out the drones and damage the actual boss. And then when you get back and there's those big gunner guys trying to control the modules and you'll end the mission, you will be able to just constantly shred with 150 rounds and you will be able to kill them without having to waste time reloading and then the mission failing. So this build is just all around perfect in my opinion. So you want everything active with the gunner. LMG damage and marksman rifle damage is important because you want to support your teammates in some of the raid sections, like the last part when if you're on 2 and someone's at 3 that needs help, you can always snipe the enemies in the face. So make sure to have all the armor kits. That's why we're using the gunners, because of the armor kits. This is extremely strong. When you pop an armor kit, you get 150% armor. It's very vital for this raid. It really does help. So I would recommend using the specialization all the time. Now, obviously, if you're using a sniper build, but that's not what this build is. So let's get into this build, guys. So this is very important to pay attention to. We're going to be using Unhinged. I tried this with Optimist. Optimist's damage is capped on the LMGs or on any weapon. So it's just better to run Unhinged. If you guys have problems aiming and you're on console, go for Optimist preferably, because if you really want to hit your shots, do that. But on PC and if you are good at aiming on console, you'll have no problem getting that extra damage. So it is a bit better than Optimist. Allegro, that's obvious as well. So now the sidearm's going to be, well, not the sidearm, the secondary is going to be the Nemesis because of the headshot damage when holstered. So you guys need to make sure when you're modding this that you put the ACOG scope, which gives you the damage. It counts as a scope, so it really gives you a 25% extra headshot damage, which is very important to rip through the NPCs. And then just things like stability, you can put whatever you want. I like to have a bit more accuracy. I don't worry about crits. Now that's another myth that's going on, guys. If you want to make a critical hit build, you have to spec into critical hit range. If you don't, your build is useless. So that's something that we can get into in another video. But before we get any further, guys, I just want to explain something to everybody, and that is headshot damage and weapon damage. How do you balance it out? What is the best thing to go for? If you're on PC, headshot damage is the way to go. So what you will see on my build is I have a lot of headshot damage rolls. Don't go for that, guys. Go for weapon damage. It's going to be better for you unless you're really good at aiming. So with that being said, let's just carry on with this build video. So we've got 3, 13, 14. Why do we have so many stamina? It's because we want to be as tanky as possible because we are getting a massive amount of damage from this build. So the mask, this is where it's going to be a bit tricky to farm, and RNG will hopefully be on your guys' side. So we've got a Murakami, that gives us 8% health. Tankiness is very important for this build. Damage to elites, 45%. This is where you get your major chunk of DTE. You need to get at least 35%, I would say, roll on this. This gives me a massive, massive chunk, plus 10% hard hitting. So that gives us 55%, which is really nice, just from the mask. So it's very important that you get a decent mask there. Chest piece. So why do I run Unbreakable? Bloodsucker, in my opinion, is good for PvP. I would run Unbreakable for PvE any time of the day. I've tried Bloodsucker. It's too situational. You have to hit too many shots. This saved my ass so many times during the raid, especially when I was doing it for the first time, by the last boss for the first time. This saves your ass, guys. This is very important to run as Unbreakable. So 26% total armor, which is a high roll. 15k armor, which is pretty low to be honest, but we all know the RNG struggle. So I've got headshot damage there. If you're on console, go for weapon damage. That's very, very nice, multiplicative, and it allows you to do massive damage to the NPCs. I'm hitting about 120, 130k to their head with this build. And you got 320k armor with the 111k health. So the way this build works is you tank a lot of damage and you deal out a lot of damage and you heal yourself really well, which I'll get to in a second. So this is important as well. You want to get a Petrov defense holster, and skill power cooldown reduction is quite important. This roll is very low and I almost struggled with my chem launcher. So you guys want to try get as high skill power roll as you can here. 33k health, which is a nice roll. Go for that on the holster. Then the backpack, we're going to have skill power, again, not too great. 5.5% armor and 12k health is okay. The reason why I've got this is because I've got hard hitting and safeguard. Safeguard is very, very, very important in the raid. When you kill an enemy, you drop your chem launcher, you get 150% healing, guys. That's very, very important. You get all your armor back within a few, like 2 to 3 seconds, and then you can just continually shoot at the NPCs. Just to put this out there, I have footage of the raid. We completed it twice within 2 hours. I will put the link in the description if you guys would like to see gameplay for this build. It'll be all there for you guys in the description. Just go through it, see the different sections. Then I will be using this build in that video. So it was a live stream. So just go and watch the live stream that happened about a week ago, and you will see the damage I do, how I survive, and I'll be using this build throughout. So that is the perfect way to see the demonstration. That's why I don't have gameplay in the beginning of this video, because I don't need it. Just go and watch the live stream. So I'll link it in the description for you guys. So the gloves are very important as well. We've got LMG damage, and this is compensated, which gives us 15% increased damage. So you need to have compensated on your gloves. I'm sure you guys know about this. Then armor percent regeneration, whatever that is. I don't want that. Health would be ideal, but unfortunately I don't have the right gloves. So you guys would go for health over there. Knee pads, make sure you have hard hitting. 15k armor. Healer guard, you know what it's like. Hazard protection is extremely important for this build. You guys need to put hazard protection. It's a very overlooked skill attribute, and in Title Update 5 it's going to be really, really strong. So make sure you guys farm hazard protection, any kind of role that you can get, because it's going to be vital against those one-shot skills, especially in PvP. Alright, so Revive a Hive is what you want to run with this build, because when you go down, you don't want to have to use your revival kits and things like that. You want to be able to pick yourself up as quick as possible. Then the chem launcher, what you want to run on your secondary skill. Now I've put, because it's a hybrid build, make sure to put a chem launcher auxiliary battery, 848 skill power for that. And then I have got actually 31% heal, which is nice. This is not a skill build. As you can see, I've met the requirements for 1600 or 1598 to be precise. So that gives me that 31.9% heal. Now keep in mind, in the video, in the live stream I did where we completed the raid twice, I actually didn't have that on. So you can imagine with this now, plus safeguard, you're going to just be healing yourself at all times. So it's very nice, especially for the weasel section where there's lots of gas and things like that and the plane drops. So it really, really does help you. So make sure you do that. So when you mod your gear, make sure to put the chem launcher skill power rolls on your utility mods. That's very important as well. Then you get certain damage mods, but we don't have any on here. So just put health and armor until you get a balance. I would say about 100k health and 300k armor is okay. I could have gone for more armor, but Unbreakable really gives it back to me, and I wanted the health to tank certain sections of the raid. So this is just a good balance for throughout the entire raid. So what is the point of this build? The point of this build is to do massive amounts of damage while still surviving and not wasting rolls on just pure damage, because this build is just very nice to use, especially if you guys aren't the best players. You will be able to get to the raid with ease if you have a decent team, obviously. So let's get into the stats. Everything's active. Obviously, we need everything active. 28k weapon damage for my LMG is pretty good. Don't worry about crits. 78% weapon damage is surprisingly high for an LMG, so you'll be smoking them in the face, guys. It really does hit hard. All weapons damage bonus 20%, which is actually pretty decent, plus 34%. So that's 54%, guys. Just damage on the LMG. So 54% plus 75% damage to elites. So that's a massive number. So we are putting out a lot of damage. But as you can see, we are very tanky and we heal ourselves at all times. Skill power, so skill cooldown reduction 7%. I wish it could be more, but as you can see, 1700 for the chem launcher and 1300 for the Hive skill power. Don't overlook these guys, it really does help. Alright, so that is my perfect raid build, my ultimate raid build, the one I like to use. I always use this. I've tested so many other builds you guys can't imagine. So just give it a try. Make sure to roll it the way that I rolled it, and if you guys aren't too good at aiming, spec into damage. The weapon damage instead of damage to elites. And, oh, sorry, damage to elites is good. That's what you want, but don't overdo it. I know a lot of people will be confused as to why I'm saying that, but that's through a lot of testing and trial. So just go for headshot damage if you're on PC and weapon damage if you're on console. So anyways, guys, that is the build. Thanks for all the recent support in my channel. I have a merch store, which I'll link in the description if you guys want to support the channel even more. And if you want to become a member, just click the join button on the channel. And I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And if you did, leave a like, subscribe, click the bell, and I'll be seeing you agents in the next one. Peace out, boys.